All right, here we go. We are live. Right now, Blaze economy is out of control. Like out of control. Oh, I'm about to sell. I don't usually sell. If you know my strategy, if you see my newsletter, I don't usually sell this low, but there's a contest going on right now, and I don't necessarily have a chance to win the contest, but the point circulation is sky high because the whale on the site, Boss, is holding so many points right now. He's not selling them. And because he's not selling them, the rate, there we go. That's high enough for me to sell. The rate is just staying steady. It's not as volatile as it normally is. And I think the reason he's holding it is just to be able to keep himself rolling, because there's a contest right now. Oh, there's a contest right now of the more threes you roll, basically, the higher you get, and the top winners get 3,333 Tron plus 100 Blaze, and the boss, the whale on the website, is right here. Nickname, who's a viewer on this channel, is in 4th place. I'm rooting for him, but he's got about 2 hours to get there. So I'm going to live stream for now. Hello, everybody coming on. I'm going to live stream for now, but I mean, this is nuts. Let me come here and roll some more. Again, I don't have time to necessarily explain Blaze right now. I'm just rolling. I'm mining Blaze because the rate is just staying so high. Basically, if I'm selling below 1.05 is break even. So if I'm selling at a rate of 1.044, I'm basically selling at a half a percent roughly loss. And I'm willing to do that because I think it makes up for it for the Blaze that I'm earning. Because the dividends are solid. Check out these divs. Tomorrow we're going to get paid $1,300, or I'm going to get paid $1,300 for holding these. So I'm just trying to mine more Blaze right now. Let me just go ahead and sell those and keep going. I got to keep it at one else. It's just nuts. It's just holding it steady. So if I'm losing a 1 percentage point, I'm making that up probably in divs. And Blaze right now is holding it around 25 Tron. I mean, every Blaze you get's worth about 25 Tron. So you put that into perspective, and it's like, it's totally worth it. Oftentimes by now we would see this rate end up spiking to 110, which that's under normal conditions. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make like 5% on my rolls. Basically what's happening, if you're new to Blaze, what's happening, I'm basically rolling right now. And that part's random with the 5%. You can see my rolls here. And I always bet high. So these are all losing rolls basically. 50 and up is pretty close to break even with the 5% fee built in. But you make the fee up on your sell. I'm having some bad luck right now. You make the fee up on your sell. So if you sell at 1, you're maintaining that 5% loss. If you sell at 1.05, you're breaking even. You're selling above that, then you literally have a mathematical statistical edge in your favor. Period. Do me a favor, smash that like button. Let me see, who do we have here so far. This is just nuts. There's 12 of you watching. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna sell, but I'm gonna wait to sell. I want this to at least, usually I want it to be at 1.04. Again, I didn't get a chance to be able to, Sydney, Australia, Herb, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. I didn't really get a chance to play today because I had to work. Real life required me to work today, which, by the way, was an awesome day working. How do you mine Blaze and what is it all about? All right, Chris, I'll try to explain among the craziness right now. So the basics, there's the king games, the battles, contest is unique running right now. Don't worry about that. Battles, the best way to learn Blaze is learn it one step at a time. Machine, by the way, if you subscribe, Chris, down below to my crypto passive strategy newsletter, I have a series of emails starting with the second email that starts breaking down Blaze. The website looks a little bit different because they've had a UI update, but it's all there. But I will cover it, and I'm not going to do a whole lot with it this low right now. And look at these points. That's crazy. So the basic way you play is you roll. And imagine it like a dice game on any other website. Based off what you roll is what you get in points instead of Tron. But you sell your points your point value goes up and down based off what the rate is. When the rate is 1.0, then basically 158,000 points is worth 158 Tron. When the rate is 1.0. When the rate is 1.05, then you get 5% more. So it's more than 158 Tron. It's gonna, like for example right here, points to sell. I got 365, blah, blah, blah. All you gotta do is look at the first four. 3,657. The last three don't matter as much. So if you notice, if the rate was 1, this literally would be worth 3,657 Tron. The rate's 1.02, so this number is 2% higher. So when you roll, if you can sell whenever you want, but as long as you sell at 1.05, you're literally playing a 50-50 game. If you wait to sell when the rate's higher at 1.06, 1.07, 110, yesterday it actually hit 1.2 something. I think 1.5 was the highest. I mean, it was just nuts. That is literally as good as it sounds. If it hits 1.5, which I've only seen that just one time for a minute, if you can sell during that moment, you're literally selling at a 45% increase. That's what I like about Blaze. It's not, you literally can play when there's good volume. I'm talking about the boss. We're talking about the whale boss. That you literally can play with the odds in your favor. I hope this is making sense to you, Chris. And you sell, you have a timer. You have to sell within 12 hours. So there comes a point in time where it's like if you miss it, if you miss the rate going up because you're not paying attention, there's a Telegram bot as well, by the way, that will alert you, but there's a few second delay in that Telegram bot, but it will alert you when the rate crosses over 1, and it will also alert you when it crosses over 1.05. But when you get that alert, if you can get in and the rate's still high, you can sell. I will tell you, typically, you don't have a problem selling. Typically, most days. We've had every now and again we'll have a slow day, and you're not able to sell at a good rate, and that just happens. But more often than not, you're able to sell at a good rate. And if you do that, then if you're not trying to gamble, a lot of people on this website gamble. I mean, they're just like any other, they'll martingale and everything else. Now you'll see all the 333s because that you'll see up here. Most of the 333s, they're all competing for the current contest. That's all that is. But the devs run these contests. The devs are nuts. I mean, absolutely nuts right now. We still got hours and hours to go. Chris, is that making sense to you? Oh, the rate just dropped. He didn't sell. Some big rack ball. What did he get? He had to get super high. 99, yep. So he almost doubled it. His points. There's a 5% discount built in. Keep that in mind. You roll at a 5% edge. That's where the divs come from. Or at least the biggest part of the divs. That's why that big drop happened. And now I got 12 hours. I'm not going to sell these at a 3% loss. That's just me. Howdy Summit. Chris, I'm glad you said that. Sometimes I don't want to be confusing, so I'm glad that was clear. Subscribe to my email down below, the email list down below. And I keep everybody up to date on what's going on. In fact, I need to get another email out about some of the latest changes that's taking place. It's just real life has been super busy. And I decided to hop on here and go live because there's a lot of activity. Because there's always, the way Blaze works is there will be several hours of pretty slow inactivity. And then all of a sudden, it goes nuts. And when it goes nuts, the adrenaline is sick. Like, for example, if he would have missed this, if he would have missed this, it would have been awesome. It would have hit like 1.05, what was it at? It was 1.2. Yeah, so we would have hit 1.05, 1.06, and you would have been seeing people rolling like crazy because you're literally rolling with the odds in your favor in that moment. That's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. Sorry, I'm just sitting here watching. So the other thing is the dynamics here. When there's a lot of points in circulation, this is a ton of points. I've never seen this many points in circulation. And I think the whale boss is doing that to keep the rate up because when the rate drops super low, people don't roll because they don't want to be sitting on those points for a really long time. So I think he's keeping the rate up himself so he can keep rolling. This guy Boss normally drops like 8,000 Tron bets, 10,000 Tron bets. I think the biggest he's ever dropped is a 50,000 Tron bet. And when he does it, when he wins, he collapses the rate really hard when you're kind of stuck holding your points. But when he misses, I mean, he's the reason that rate will sometimes hit 1.2, 1.15. I mean, 1.10 happens several times a week. And it is absolutely nuts. You could always have bad luck. You can have the best odds in your favor, but you can have bad luck rolling. But statistically, if you get enough rolls in, when that rate is up, I mean, the edge is in your favor. The house edge is in your favor. What's everybody up to tonight? We are just playing a little bit of Blaze Economy. Let's talk about this contest just so you can kind of understand what's going on. 3-month anniversary contest. Blaze has only been around for 3 months. This DApp is the best freaking DApp ever so far. I mean, the divs have been so consistent. We have slow days, but it's not like a rise up and a collapse or a crash. The price of the token is super amazing. I mean, it takes so much, like it's so, there's no way to like auto roll. So it kind of like, there's no advantage to it. And so it does, it's just awesome. They only got 287,000 mined, of which I have 3,000. And I sold 500 of those the other day. Kind of regretting it, but I did it because I just felt like I had so many of them. But the freaking, what is it? Tron Trade. If you've not seen Blaze on Tron Trade, holy smokes. It's just freaking solid. 25 was up to 31. But I mean, you can practically count on it for now staying at 25. I think it's going to go up. I mean, I'm shocked that it's still sitting at 25, but it's been super stable for weeks. I'm shocked that it's still sitting at 25, though. I could see it going to 30, 35, or 40 just from the dividend perspective. Now, with that being said, I've not bought any Blaze. The main reason I haven't bought them is because I'm able to play machine at a statistical break-even or statistical edge, and you're mining Blaze constantly. Every 1,000 Tron bet mines one Blaze. And what you're doing is you're literally betting when the rate is high, when it's 1.05, 1.06, I'll literally come up here, I'll put this thing at like 100 or 1,000. I'll bet, and I'm literally sitting here. I'll watch the rate right here, make sure it stays high. I hit max, sell, max, sell. I just spam it over and over again as long as the rate stays above 1.05. Max, sell, max, sell, max, sell. And every now and again, I've had the full 1,000 bet go through, and I had to hit bet again. And when that happens, you're like minting Blaze like crazy. I mean, it adds up so fast. Look at this, 674,000. So when there's not a lot of when there's a lot of points, big rolls basically have less of an impact on the rate movement. This is actually moving quite slow, and this is kind of nice, especially if it would just tick up a little bit. If it would just get to 1.05, 1.06, it would probably hang there for a while. Look how long we've been at 1.01 and 1.02. There's nothing that says that the rate can't go higher. There's nothing. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance for it to go higher or lower based off people rolling and their bet. But notice how it's just hanging out here. It's because there's so many points. When there's like 50 points or 100 points, and typically when the rate hit, let's like 1.03, 1.05, the points drop super low to like 50 or 30,000. And then it's super volatile, which is kind of nice too, because you can catch those big pops. Like all of a sudden you'll be looking. I mean, I'm literally like, I'll be talking to my wife and I'll have the rate up, and all of a sudden I get quiet. She doesn't fully know what Blaze is all about, but she knows that I'm over here printing Tron as I'm rolling. I'm not talking. I suddenly shut up. Every now and again I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And the reason is because the freaking rate just keeps ticking up. You think you're doing good at 1.08. You're like, wow, I'm rolling at 3% edge. Then all of a sudden 1.10. You're like, what? 1.15. What? 1.20. You're like, what? 1.18, 1.20, 1.21, 1.18. And you're just sitting here rolling with this massive edge in your favor. And you get done, you got like 20% more Tron sometimes. Unless you just have absolutely horrible rolls. But when you got a 1.2 rate, it's kind of hard to roll that bad. I mean, I'm sure it can happen. But I'll give you an example. One day on a Saturday, one of the devs, well, I don't think he's the main dev, he's just one of the guys in Telegram. But he actually posted a screenshot in Telegram of my rolls. I had 20 or 30 rolls that were all red, and I always bet high. So they were all low and red, which means I lost every one of them. And he said, "Hey, Crypto Well, sorry about your bad luck." And I said, "It's okay. I'm up over 10% because I mean, that's just how it works because the rate was in my favor the entire time I was rolling. I didn't even know I had rolled that bad. I didn't even care. So I'm just waiting. If it goes up to 1.04, I'm going to sell. And statistically, that's bad for Tron, but it gives me a chance to be able to keep rolling for Blaze. And I want some more Blaze. Oh, that big drop came. Who did that? Nick is rolling 88s. I wonder why he's rolling 88s. Nickname. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We're just streaming Tron. Hit that subscribe button. If you like talking about dApps, if you like talking about cryptocurrency, then this is your channel. You want to watch this channel. We cover the good stuff. We talk about the good stuff. We talk about the future of cryptocurrency. I'm one of those people who believe that one day cryptocurrency, that we will 100% be, as a society, be reliant on cryptocurrency. What happened over here? I missed that. Oh, 5,000 there went high. So he made a lot of Tron. Wow, 2 in a row. Amazing. Amazing. Man, look at these points just stacking. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything right now. Everybody's just stacking points. I wonder why. You know what they're doing, I think? I think they're trying to prevent other people from playing. They're trying to hold their... Oh, that might be what's happening. They're trying to prevent... Because we've only got like an hour left in the contest. So the top 3 players with the most 3s or 3 threes rolled in machine wins. Only bets of 333 Tron or more count. So they're trying to prevent... I think that's the only thing I can figure out. They're trying to prevent people from selling their points, and if you don't sell your points, you can't free up Tron. So there's a little bit of strategy to what they're doing. I said staking. I meant stacking. Panjox, welcome. He's obviously watching the stream. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I see the contest, Richie. We are up. I'm just, and those of you who are listening to audibly. If you're not watching the YouTube video, I'm just typing right now in the actual chat on the Blaze website. 735. That's what he's doing. I'm asking him what is he doing. By the way, he full well knows what he's doing. It's a little bit frustrating. Richie says it keeps it steady. Yeah, but that's not the only thing. I mean, there's no reason for it to he's not selling because it's so low. So there's no reason right now. While we are, look at the sell and the buys on Blaze. It's been pretty stable. Check it out. Have you guys seen this Void token? This thing, while we're waiting for something to happen over there. First of all, DDEX. Check this thing out. And then, of course, there's Frag, which I've talked about before on this channel. Check this thing out. So we got Void over here. I actually missed out on the airdrop 100% on Void. I totally missed out on the airdrop. These Void, I bought them. I bought, outside of what I've gotten from the airdrop, I bought my Void. But when I bought them, they were like what, 2 Tron, 3 Tron, 3 Tron, I think. Or yeah, 3 Tron is what I. Now they're up to 8 Tron. We're talking about. I bought these things, I think, the beginning of this week. Like, my goodness, I'm literally holding some because I'm debating on selling them just to recoup what I got into it so far. So I pull all my Tron out that I had. But then there's frags over here. This thing. Visit depth. So I got the frag box running. Look at that. I didn't realize we had an airdrop. We get the airdrops in the frag box. And basically it's 10% fee in, 10% fee out. I don't know what this 2-day streak is because I have claimed every single day more than once a day. But that's okay. However, these things were like 0.46, 0.36 Tron. And now, if you go to the... And now this is the internal exchange. But if you go to the internal exchange, they're 3.55. But this internal exchange is coming from Tron Watch because I've compared it. So 3.55. I got these things at 0.45. That's just crazy nuts. These are deflation tokens if you're familiar with those, like bomb tokens and whatnot. Chris Bowman. New airdrop is going now until July 18th. New airdrop for what? Void? Or for Frag? Oh, you're talking about Void. For Void. Yeah. Void. New airdrop is going now till July 18th. Yeah, well, I'm going to keep every time I get 10 or so in here, I just do a withdrawal and then type in the number. It shows up here. And this is the same balance as in your wallet. Then I hit stake. And I just stake them. The downfall is it takes 2 weeks to unlock them. That's why I'm keeping some out right here. But it takes 2 weeks to. But I'm gonna keep staking them. I wonder what they do after the staking. That's gonna be interesting. Where are we at over there? If Chris Bowman is over here, that means he's not rolling. Ball Smart would have been selling at 1.4. Got greedy. So Boss is stuck holding his points because he wanted to sell. Now he's rolling. Chris, get over there and roll. I'm rooting for you. For a brief moment last night, I was the first 3, and then I think I ended up in 3rd place for all of a moment. Oh, I want this rate to go up. I want this rate to go up. So I don't know what the future holds for these deflationary tokens. I'll give Frags credit, and I'm just gonna. I did a video covering Frags. In that video, I played Frag Toss, and I ran my frag. I had like 4,000 frag, and ran it all the way up to like 70,000 frags. And the reason I was doing it because at the time they were supposed to be doing an airdrop with 3% in your favor. I switched my strategy, and maybe I could have made a mathematical error, but I don't know where I did it at. And basically what I started doing was I started taking my balance. I ended up on a losing streak. I was betting 1,000 frag. And my idea was when I win, the edge is in my favor. This is not a negative edge. It's a positive edge. It's how they're doing part of the airdrop. So I just kept flipping and flipping. And then this thing is really streaky. It'd go 7, 8 in a row on butt, 7, 8 in a row on pins. I finally said, you know what? I ended up getting down to like 10,000, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna start taking 10% after my roll, win or lose. I'm gonna take my 10% of my balance, and that's gonna be my bet. Because I was really just wanting to find a way to make larger bets so I could get more of the positive frag. And that actually ran my balance all the way down to the 600s eventually. And I don't know if I should have been using 10% or. I'll be honest with you, it really felt like this wasn't accurate. And I can't say that. I have no proof of that, and I do know how betting and numbers work. I could have just been getting screwed the entire time on bad luck. That could be all it is. I have no proof that there was any shenanigans going on. It just seemed like it shouldn't have been working out like that. So finally when I got down to I got my 600 all the way back up to like 1,100 or whatever. And I was kind of not even going to mess with it. I didn't even get into this frag box right away. And one of my buddies, who's also a viewer on this channel, said he got into the frag box. And he like doubled, tripled his stack the first day. I got into that thing like several days later. and I'm still in it now. But when I see that the price is going up, I'm like, holy smokes. I mean, literally, they weren't even worth one Tron. Now, there's not a lot of liquidity. You'd have to sell them off kind of slow. But still, 3.55 Tron. I mean, the highest I've seen is 4. If it, I mean, Bomb token was all the way up to $50 per token. So think about that. I'm not saying Void's going to go to $50. I'm not saying it's going to make it to $1. I'm not saying Frag's going to make it that high. But just imagine. But at the end of the day, my number one love is Blaze Economy. I just want it to do something. I just wanted to do something soon. The problem is, it's probably going to wait till the contest, and then Boss is going to sell all of his points, and this thing's going to start going nuts until ultimately someone has a ton of good luck and it just slams down really low. Smash that like button. If you got any questions about Blaze, let me know. Let me know if you're ever here playing. There's some updates coming, by the way. They added a Stone King to Kings. And if you hold all 5 Kings, which the boss currently does, you get the God King winning, which is you get the jackpot. But they're going to make some adjustments to this jackpot because it's not sustainable the way they have it set up. The devs are so quick to try to respond to stuff. They'll see a problem, and within a week or two, they create an alternative. I mean, that part's awesome. I mean, that part is absolutely awesome. I would love to see them get rid of the buy points feature. I don't think it's helpful personally. And if you go watch my email, if you go subscribe to my email list, at the bottom of Crypto Passive Strategy, I talk about one of the safe strategies is when this rate is super low at like 0.85 or something, 0.9 and lower. You basically can buy, and when you buy at a 5% premium. So it'd be like, if it's 0.9, you're buying at like, I think 0.5, 0.9. If it's at 0.9, you're buying at 0.95 or whatever, which is awesome because it's like you just sell at 1 and you make 5%. But the other problem with that is that it doesn't really do anything good for the economy. It creates a whole bunch of bloated points. And let me tell you something. If there was 800,000 points, I mean, you think of it, if there was 800,000 points, then and then that rate was down low, like 0.8, 0.85, 0.9. That sucks. That absolutely sucks. Because the rate will hardly move because it's so heavy. And most people are going to get squeezed and they might not ever turn a profit. And I've watched people start buying super low. And my videos may be part of the reason because it was such a good strategy when everybody wasn't doing it. Now, I will pick up maybe a 20 to 30% of my current wallet balance that I'm using for Blaze. I'll use that in points just in case the rate never gets high enough for me to sell them. And then I'll just, cut out and take my losses if I have to, but it's a small loss. I no longer roll. I used to roll everything. I used to buy, the way you have to buy is you make one roll and then you can buy that amount. You make one roll and then you can buy that amount and you would just roll back. Bet, max, buy. Bet, max, buy. That's how you buy when the rate's low. You only do it when the rate's low. But I've decided that I don't really see no major benefit to doing that if everybody's doing that because then basically it hurts the entire ecosystem. And most people prefer to play. There's a lot more action. Like right now, the action is slow because the rate's not high enough. When the rate's at 1.03, 1.04, 1.05, and anything above that, it's nuts. It's crazy. You'll see dividends just explode. Literally, the dividends will just, you'll see them go up so fast because people are rolling. So I don't know if they'll ever get rid of it. I guess at one point in time, you could buy as many points as you wanted, up to 100,000 at a time. That's crazy to even think about. Or 100,000 Tron worth. That's crazy to even think about. Oh, it popped up. Pop up about 4 more times. And now they have it where you have to actually do a roll between each buy. I think the economy as a whole would actually be better if this was gone. So I'm hoping one day they get rid of buy points. The idea was it was more of a simulated trading game, but buying points just weighs down the entire rate. And I consider myself a trader. I don't hardcore gamble. I don't do a lot of martingale on this. I did when I first started playing it, but once I understood how you could play it and statistically have an edge in your favor, I don't do that anymore. So I just wait for the rate to go up most of the time. And I usually am very strict with a lot of discipline, and I don't sell below 1.05. Today I was selling at 1.035, 1.04. Partially playing the contest and partially because everybody else is playing it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get diluted. And it's worth it just in my Blaze value and just in the dividends. And these dividends, like literally just an hour or two ago, they were like at 80,000 Tron. It's just literally nuts. 1,695. That's crazy. Almost back to my 4,000 that I sold 500. I'm not gonna sell anymore. I think I'm gonna take it to at least 5,000. And I'm never, if I sell, by the way, and I may sell just to diversify out of Blaze because I have so much in it. I may sell to diversify out, but if I do, I'm gonna sell like less than 50% of what I earn in Blaze. Maybe 20, 25, percent, 30%. 25 is probably better. 25% of what I earn. I may just make small sales just to start pulling out some Tron. And I've been freezing a lot of Tron lately. Every single day I freeze Tron because I want to grow. I want to get to 1 million Tron frozen. It's just a arbitrary goal, but it's my arbitrary goal. Man, is this rate going to move at all? That's my question. Are we going to move at all? Nicknames rolling, 5,000. He might move it. There we go, a little bit. Not a ton. High. He hit that. See, it went against him there. That's why it went up. If it goes in your favor, it drops. The rate will just drop. It just spike. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here as we play some Blaze Economy. If you got any questions, just ask them in the comments. We're just playing Blaze. 1.01. Keep going. We're just playing a little bit of Blaze Economy, the absolute best gaming DApp period that exists in Tron. You literally can play with a statistical edge in your favor. You can't. It can't be like auto mined and crashed like some of the casino DApps. This thing's been around for 3 months. The dividends are some of the most consistent I've ever seen. The value of the token is rock solid. And when you recognize the fact that if you play properly, like I talk about in my crypto strategies newsletter down in the description, if you play properly, you literally can get Blaze for free. Actually earn a profit. You can actually earn a profit while mining Blaze. The only DApp that I'm aware of that you can mine and earn a profit mining it, meaning you in one way of saying it in theory is you actually get paid. You get paid to mine it. That's crazy if you think about it. Absolutely crazy. All right. Looks like nothing much is happening. I tell you what, this morning I had to get up early this morning at like 5 a.m. and Blaze will get you. And so when you play Blaze, you can set up the Telegram alerts so you know what's going on. You'll get alerted every time the rate hits 1.001, every time it hits 1.05. You also get alerted when it hits low, like 0.9. You'll get that alert, and you can set Blaze up on your mobile phone depending on. I use the Kiwi browser, the Tron Link extension on the Kiwi browser on my Android phone, and so you can play it mobile. It's not as easy to play, but it's absolutely playable, and it will drive you bonkers. Like it will literally. I mean, you can't. Last night, 10 o'clock, I'm going to bed. I had to get up super early. Well, I finally went to bed at 2 a.m. Why? Because freaking Blaze was hopping. Like, you're making Tron, you're earning Blaze. Dividends were going up. Dividends weren't this high, but they were going up. They were at close to 100,000, I think, yesterday. So it was just nuts. Just literally, absolutely nuts. And I couldn't leave it. Truce in the building. How's it going, Truce? Go check out Truce's channel. Truce, I was talking to a real comedian, like a real live, like mainstream comedian. Bitcoin to 1 million, sir. But I was talking to a comedian about you. Someone that I know who's a stand-up comedian. And we were talking about comedy niches. And I said, let me tell you about the most niche comedy I have ever seen. Her name's Melissa Hager. True, she's well known up in Michigan. I said this guy does these skits. I said on cryptocurrency. How many comedians do you know in the cryptocurrency space? Ladies and gentlemen, if you like comedy and you like cryptocurrency, there ain't but one place for you to go. Go to Truce's channel. Go check it out now. You have my permission to leave my channel as long as you promise to subscribe when you go to his channel. He puts up some good stuff. And he talks Bitcoin. He's a cryptocurrency man. He's not here just for, what I mean by that is he's not here just for the gains. He's here because he believes in the future of cryptocurrency. So he talks about that as well on his channel. That's another reason why I support his channel and think you should go support his channel. We need more people who really believe in technology of cryptocurrency. All of us, listen, there's not a person alive that wouldn't like to be able to earn some extra income, make some extra money. So when you can make money by investing in something that you believe is going to the freaking moon, that's a plus. But when you're here just because you're trying to scalp it, just because you're trying to speculate it, just because, and you get squished like an ant for trying to play the market and you don't even understand the benefits of the cryptocurrency technology, then in my opinion, you kind of get what you deserve. But that's not who Truce is. So go check out his channel. All right, what's going on here? 1.01. This rate's not going to go up because they're sitting here holding damn near 1 million points. That's just nuts. All because of this freaking contest. I got to tell you something. I mean, the devs, seeing how fast they are, they communicate over here. Blaze manager, Blaze officer. Blaze officer is the main dev. But he's over here communicating with what's going on. Guys are dropping bombs. Oh my goodness, 127,000. I think we've gone up over 20,000 in the div pool since I've been here. I'm telling you what, I'm doing like about 30 USD on average probably per day between the low days and high days. I need to calculate exactly what it's averaging. I should do that for next month. I should calculate exactly what we average. But it is the most consistent payout, period. Truce, how do you even find these dApps, bro? People tell me about them as part of it, and I've got friends that are into them more than I am. I get told about it all the time, man. And I'm slow to roll in on something. Like I watched Blaze for probably 2 or 3 weeks, and I made like one little bet on it. I didn't understand what the rate was all about. Didn't understand the 12-hour timer. Ended up losing like a couple hundred trying. I thought, well, that's just stupid. That sucks. And I left it alone. But I kept coming back because I owned some Blaze tokens after playing. And I didn't own but like 20 or 30. And I just kept coming back. And I kept seeing, I was getting these little consistent dividend payouts. And I'm like, well, that's kind of a lot of dividends for the amount of tokens I'm getting. And they were consistent. And that's probably what got me like, what is this? What am I actually doing here? What is this all about? And then I saw there was one guy who has a small channel and he doesn't even have a lot of videos up, period, at all. If he did, I would be talking about his channel on here. But I think his channel is practically dead. But he had one Blaze video where he kind of explained what went on. And I don't think their introduction video does that great at it. And so when I saw his one video, I thought, in fact, it's the first video I did on Blaze. I basically took what he was talking about and I just expanded on it because no one was explaining really well what was going on Blaze. But once I understood that it's a mathematical strategy, it's emotions, it's mathematics, it's not luck, it's not totally random. So that when you understand that it's a mathematical, emotional game, like there's a legitimate gaming element that's just fun to play for the sake of the game. I mean, and the fact that you have the ability to literally, someone got a good hit. Oh, nickname. Nickname's a fellow viewer. Good job. 2,500. He made a small fortune there. Um, just the fact that you have an ability that you can play this game, kind of like Texas Hold'em. If you're a good Texas Hold'em player, you understand Texas Hold'em, but it's can be really complicated to be a winning player. But you can literally play a strategy of Texas Hold'em, and in many cases, you can play a winning strategy. It's how guys are able to grind online 10 tables at a time, and they can make a winning strategy. But Blaze is far simpler than that. And if you don't get emotional and you just wait for the rate to hit 1.05 or above, you're going to win. You're going to make Tron. You're going to earn Blaze. You're going to make passive dividends. It's nuts. And I was like, wow. Everybody kept talking about the dividends. And I get it. The dividends are good. But I actually think they would be better off if they cut the dividend. I think if they cut this thing down to like 2%, I don't care if I don't get 1,700 Tron. Give me 200, but get this thing down to like 2%. And this is so unpopular among the players over here because most people can't get out of the dividend mindset. But give me 2%. Let me break even at a 1.02 rate. Why? Because 1.02 comes up so much more often. I would be rolling so much more. I would actually have a much better shot at being a net positive player. And it would be a lot more fun just for the gaming aspect. So what attracted me to Blaze was a freaking gaming aspect, and that it's a legitimate game that you can play. If there is never a dividend, there would be people willing to play it if there was never a dividend. Of course, the fact that we're in the Tron's cryptocurrency in general is a small market, then Tron's an even smaller market, a Tron DApp space that's not about pump and dump the dividends means that they just don't have a lot of players. I don't even think we're over 1,000 players yet. I know we're not. We're over, where's it at? 815 players, which we're steadily growing. But this thing, and by the way, I actually think it's possible at a 1.02 rate. If more people play, I think it's actually possible the dividends could be even higher than what we're getting now. That's possible. There is some number that's the optimal number. I don't think it's 5%. I think it's lower. But that's just me. Let's see. True. So I thought it was like a list somewhere. Nah, man, there's not a list. I just find out about stuff, hear about stuff. I'm late to the party on a lot of things, though. Crypto Coin Builder said, I like Blaze and 888. Yeah, 888 is interesting. I've never sold my tokens over there. They're just a straight casino. I keep pulling out a couple hundred Tron over there. I'm like, wow. Almost every week I pull out 200 or 300 Tron over there on 888. Summit Das as Wealth got passion and emotion for dApps. Man, I'm passionate, emotional, and got emotion about everything that I enjoy in life, that I like. But I appreciate you saying that. Crypto Coin Builders, what is the how to play Blaze video called? You know what? I guess I don't know the exact name of it. Let's see if I can pull it up on my channel. Can I pull it up? Can I pull it up? I don't know if I can do that. Let's do this. Blaze out of control. Blaze is out of control. Sorry, let me see if I can find it for you. How to lose Tron on Blaze Economy. The most legit. It might. That's too long. It wasn't that one. You know what? It was the one before my playlist. I'm not sure how to do this for. I'm not even sure how to do that. Go look at my earliest Blaze Economy video, which it was just about 6 weeks ago. So there's several videos in a row. Just go to the first one if you can find it. All right, what do we got going on here? Big Smoke Crypto, welcome. Wealth, have you looked at Frag and Void? You mean like that? And like that? Yeah, we've already talked about that. I was late to the party on Frag and Void. But I can't get over. I actually bought Void, missed Big Smoke. I totally missed out on the airdrop. I went back later because I was on in fact, where's it at? I was on my cruise during the whole Void thing. And I heard about it and I didn't think nothing of it. And yeah, I bought about at 4 Tron each. Just under 4 Tron. I don't think I paid 4 Tron for any of them. And I bought I bought mine, and then I've been getting the stakings from the airdrop, and it's nuts. I can't believe it's already up at. I mean, it has the potential to go crazy. Bomb went to like what, $50, 50 USD a token. So I guess it has the potential to go up somewhere. You know, we'll see how high it goes, what it does. Frags, I mean, I can't get over Frag being. I mean, it don't even make logical sense to me that Frag is. What is that? Is that the, yeah, 3.55 Tron? I mean, that's just doesn't even make any sense to me. Well, how big was the first Void airdrop, Big Smoke? Just out of curiosity, how big was that? Just out of curiosity. Come on, what's going on over here? Look at the dividends, another 5 grand. This is 1,800. Wow, we might break 2,000, or I might break 2,000. Ooh. In Freetron, that's just nuts, nuts. 250 Void in the first airdrop. Nice. Good job. I like the way they did the airdrop too. I missed out on the airdrop, but a good friend of mine was explaining that when they did the airdrop, basically, they were intentionally not trying to send the spam wallets and stuff like that. See, that tells me that at the very least, they're trying to launch right. Like, they think a lot of these projects start out great and then they just get abandoned. And I'm not saying Void or Frag or any other projects. I'm not giving it like a personal endorsement. Like, I don't think it could get abandoned. Even Blaze could get abandoned. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, not today, but you never know. I mean, we saw what happened with Deutron. We saw what happened with Pokertron. So any DApp could get abandoned. But the way they started out on Void, man, I'm like, at first I thought Void, that's just a lame name. I didn't even get it. But when I saw how they started and they were very careful not to airdrop to spam addresses and stuff like that, which is a deflationary token. So airdropping to spam addresses from a deflationary standpoint isn't all bad. But I really like how they were certain, they really went that extra mile trying not to send any Void to spam wallets, because it made me just feel like they got plans for this. They want this to do something. And so I'm like, okay. I'll come along for the ride. I don't fully understand. I'm not in the Telegram, by the way, for Void. I am in Discord right now for Frags, but I don't pay a lot of attention to it. But so the thing with Void is I don't know what they're ultimately looking to do, and I'm not a fan of. Watch this. I'll show you. You're logged in for 2 weeks on anything that you stake. That's why I have these right here not getting staked, because you're logged in for 2 weeks. Now, the only thing I don't like is because I'm like, you know what? If someone was going to dump, I understand the argument for it. They want to prevent people from dumping on the market, blah, 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 getting emotional, and that sort of thing. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that 2 week lock-in. Personally, it just makes me nervous. Have to be locked into something for 2 weeks. It almost seems like anti-capitalism. And cryptocurrency is supposed to be like the epitome of capitalism, in my opinion. Free market, decentralization, yeah, third-party, trustless environment. So then we lock it in for a week. I don't know about that. One of the cool things about Blaze, you can unfreeze your tokens and sell. Oh, look at that, 1.02. I can talk all I want, but I got to watch. See, this is why I can't get nothing done when I'm at home, my office working at. I'm like, the freaking Telegram will go off, and I'm over here like checking it like a, fiend. All right, what's going on here? Big Smoke said, right, they can still run off. We're talking about DApp devs. Yep, absolutely. Cross says, hate to say it, but I lost interest in Blaze. Cross, how do you lose interest in Blaze, man? What do you mean you lost interest in Blaze? You got a short lifespan, short attention span. They need a couple of good games and they both could explode. Oh, your Big Smoke said they need a couple of good games and they both could explode. He's talking about Void or Frags. Yeah, but that is the number one. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna sell. It might get interesting. Oh, that's why it's interesting. Boss sold. Okay, this could get nuts. Hold on. Ah, just dropped. Who put that big? Oh, nickname. It had to go in his favor. If it would have went against him, 50-50 shot. If it would have went against him, oh, there 1.9. So there you're seeing it right there. right now. 1.13, 8%. Oh my goodness. Come on, go through. I got to get some sales in. Oh my goodness. Sell, sell, sell. Show up, show up. Oh. Oh my goodness. Now they're showing up. And now we're at 0.9. Okay. Oh, took too long to come through. That's the other thing, the Tron network. See, I don't like the roll here. So what you can do is you can hit a 0 and it'll stop all future rolls, but I already got a ton out there. Everybody was rolling at once. It was going nuts. Normally I'm in the mix. I'm sitting here talking. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes. All right. Here's the thing. There's only 23,000 points out here, so it could go in a minute. All right. I'm just gonna. I gotta keep this up because this guy nicknames a beast. The boss is dropping high rolls, so this could go. Oh, there we go. 1.05. I'm gonna go ahead and roll here because we're gonna. The other thing is when it's a big number, when there's there we go. When there's not a lot of points out, it's more volatile. So you can move a lot quicker. And the way you can get hurt is your cells don't go through in time. When your cells don't go through in time, then you sometimes, like you hit a cell and the network always has a small delay. Right now, I am making Tron right now. Oh, not at that rate, I'm not. All right. I personally don't want to hold a bunch of points. All right. But it's always nice to have points on hand so you can get ready to sell. Craziness. I got to keep it. The rate is 12,000. That's nothing. The only problem when it's that low, again, it just spikes really hard, really easy. All right, what's going on here? Let me try to watch you all and watch this at the same time. 1.01. Let's see. All right, and all right, Cross said devs can dump. That's why they have the lock-in. People won't do it because there's a high penalty. I think he's talking about Void. Cross, you talking about Void and Frag? Cross said he lost. Yeah, Cross. Why did you say you lost interest in Blaze? What was it about Blaze that you lost interest? I mean, we had like 2 or 3 slow days, and then they come out with new developments, and that was awesome. And they're making new improvements all the time. I mean, they're every week they're looking at, like when they came out with the new Throne King, and they realized they got to adjust how they're doing the jackpot. That's going to be interesting. They're working on a burn through BlazeBug, so now they're going to be adding a burn, which is awesome. I love how responsive the devs are. I mean, in crypto, 3 days feels like a lifespan sometimes, but I mean, within about a week, I mean, they're like new flipping coding and development is taking place. They're trying to figure out what is the optimal setting basically for this to work in the best possible way, and they keep making little tweaks. And overall, where can I buy Blaze now? Try and trade, absolutely, that's the answer. By the way, what were my sales at earlier? Let's see, let's see. I hope I got some good sales in there. Show only my history. That one stunk. That one was good. That was a small one. That was low. That was good. Okay, so it had some pretty decent sales. Too many major changes within a short period of time. Carl said he thinks they made too many major changes within a short period of time. That completely changed the game mechanics. What changes are you referring to that you thought were negative, Cross? I do agree with you. I think they got to be careful about making changes. I think changes can continue to occur. I mean, I would love to see them to move that point exchange fee back. I mean, at one point it was like 3%. I'd love to go back to 2%, and the reason is because I think it's ultimately about the point exchange. One thing they recently did was they used to take kings there's a fee from Kings and a fee from Battles that used to go straight to dividends. They recently ran it straight to the point exchange, which has been an absolute net positive because it keeps the point exchange hitting 1 and 1.05 several more times during the day. It's much easier to move the exchange playing Kings, and people will play it just to get the rate exchange up. And Cross said, me and the changes aren't clear. Okay, I didn't know if you were actually going to name a specific change, Cross, or if you just kind of felt like it changed. Because those are two different things. So I didn't know if there's a specific change that bothered you, or if you just felt like it changed and you didn't know what it was. How have these changes impacted? So Cross says, how has these changes impacted the divs from your perspective? In the short term, it always does amazing things for the divs because everybody gets excited assuming it's going to be better. But I don't think that it is always better. And I'll give you an example. I don't think the 5% fee on the point exchange rate was a net positive long-term change. Personally, I don't think that. And because I think I was going to do a whole video on this. I just haven't had time to do it. So let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what everybody's doing. Oh, that's not it. I want to see what everybody's doing over here. But personally, I think that 5% fees is not a net positive. I don't know the answer. I think it was 3% before, but I think the answer is not to go higher. I think the answer is to lower the fee more, so you have a lot more people that are winning, and even if they're not playing properly, they're losing less. When you have a much higher fee, players who are playing just to gamble, you will always have players who just gamble. They don't care about the fact that they actually can play a statistical advantage game. In fact, it blows my mind that some of the earliest players in Telegram told me that it was not possible mathematically and I thought, okay, I don't even comprehend why you're playing this game, but they were playing because they were gamblers. And even if you've got guys that are gamblers, you want them to lose less often. So one of the best ways to do that is lower the fee, help them play more. It keeps morale high, people keep playing, and the players who are trying to play a statistical advantaged game, it's easier to play that game, but it's also easier to feel like you're playing that game even when you're not, when the rate is lower. So there's this gray area of players who are trying to play a statistical advantaged game, but every time they get down to like 4 hours left on their timer or 2 hours, and that thing hits like 1, they'll go ahead and sell. And they'll do it because they don't have the emotional fortitude to try to hold out. They're scared. And so they'll sell because they don't want the rate to drop on them. So they'll try to play the safe route, and they'll sell at like 1, for example, even though it's a 5% or a hedge against them. Well, there's going to always be those people, that certain sect of players, and who knows, I might be that player that wants to play a statistical advantaged game through patience, but what will end up happening is they just get, they still end up losing. But when the fee is so high, that gray zone player that really is trying to play a statistical advantaged game is losing, and they realize they're losing. They realize how fast they're losing, and there's something wrong, and they can't figure out what's going wrong. Plus, there's always bad luck on the machine. Anybody can roll a string of bad luck. I mean, show my rolls. You can go through here, and you can see none of that was too horrible. But I've had 10, 15, 20 rolls in a row that were red. You can have statistical bad luck. When you've got statistical bad luck on machine, plus you got to overcome a 5% fee, it's just like murderers. And so that's just my thing. I think that if the fee could be lowered, and I would love to see it tested out for like a weekend or something, and do like a 2% fee or something, and just see what would happen. For that matter, I'd love to see like a 1% fee and just see what happens, because the sweet spot is somewhere, whether it's 1%, 2%, 3%. The sweet spot is somewhere that incentivizes more play, and through incentivizing more play, more people are playing, then you also get higher dividends. That's one thing. One thing that I think is positive, Cross, when they moved the divs, they were taking the divs from Kings and Battles, part of the fee from those two games, and was going straight to the dividend. Now it goes straight into the points exchange to keep it elevated. That has absolutely been a net positive because we would go through much longer lulls of people playing. And Kings has such a bigger impact now on the points rate exchange. And when that rate exchange goes up, people start rolling. I mean, anytime you see that thing hit 1.5, you can just watch divs tick, 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 tick. It can go an hour and it can move 1,000, 2,000. This morning, I think at like 1 o'clock, I think we had like 2,000 Tron in dividends. That was it. And then all of a sudden, it went nuts. And that happens when it has happened in part because this contest was coming to an end. But when that dividend kicks over 1.05, when that rate kicks over 1.05 and everybody starts rolling, it's like you can just see divs just stacking up. It's crazy. Carl says, feel like there's less value in holding the actual Blaze token. How have those changes impacted the divs? Carl, what do you mean it feels like there's less value in holding the Blaze token? The token is holding its value solid. It's been about 25 Tron per token for, I don't know, almost 2 weeks solid. But that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter Carl said, hence why people like Boss have sold a big chunk of their Blaze. The reason Boss is selling is because he's probably a net. If you watch the guy play, the way he's playing, I'm willing to bet anything he's a net negative player by a long ways. So here's what's interesting. Even at a 5% fee, that's just playing straight machine for Tron. If you're selling your Blaze tokens for 25 Tron per Blaze or you're collecting dividends, that makes that fee automatically a little bit smaller. So the reason people sell the tokens is because it's maintaining its value. The reason I sold 500 of the tokens is because I'm getting kind of heavy just in frickin' for a DApp, just in frickin' Blaze tokens. But the strength of the game is the game, not even the token. The token's nice, and I'm not saying I'm turning down free Blaze anytime soon. I'm just not gonna, I appreciate the fact that there's a dividend. I don't even think that's a strong point. Oh, I gotta sell my points. I don't even think that's the strength of it, personally. I think the strength absolutely is in the game. But, they got a great dividend token. It pays out well. Divs haven't been keeping up with the dilution, is what I meant in terms of the token value. Divs are never going to cross. Dilution will happen. There's not it is economically impossible for dilution not to occur. It is absolutely impossible to mint more and to keep that is mathematically impossible in 100% of every DApp that exists. It is against the laws of mathematics for dilution not to occur. Period. End of story. Think about that for a moment. You've got to get, and by the way, dilution is a real thing. I get it. I've actually been a big proponent in these videos about adding a burn feature sooner than later and making it an aggressive burn feature. When I first came to Blaze, I was watching interviews online where people were like, oh, it's too early to have a burn feature. And I thought, what are you talking about? How is it? No, it's not. The longer you wait, you end up with a compound effect working against you and it grows faster and faster. The challenge is finding a burn feature, if it's possible, that can be dynamic with growth. And I don't even know if such a mechanism can exist yet. The reason, TronBet and 888's burn, they were the first one that I think that implemented a burn, and they suck. They're useless. They don't do any good. It sucks. Maybe if it was a deflationary token like the frag tokens and Void, that might be interesting if that was possible. But that's not the type of token that it is. Maybe some sort of auction-based system like what we saw with TronWow could work. I don't know. I think part of the reason TronWow, and arguably it didn't work at all, but the dynamic, there's two dynamics you've got to think about. Dilution and token value as it relates to Tron value. because that affects how many tokens and how much people are playing. Meaning if they're buying more tokens and they're freezing tokens, or they're buying tokens and there's some benefit to burning the tokens, etc. So there's a couple of dynamics you have to think about. And I'm not certain what mechanism they can put in place exactly. I think they should come up with something and just go for it, try it, and see what they can do. And they are working on that with this. They have this idea with something called Blaze Bucks. I don't fully understand it at all. I don't fully understand what they're going to do with that at all. But we'll find out. They're going to implement something. But at the end of the day, every single DApp you're going to get diluted, because as more are mined, you have to have exponentially more people bringing in Tron to play. But without the value of the token, one thing that TronBet and them did is it over time it gets more difficult to mine. I don't think that's the case with Blaze at all. But even those tokens haven't successfully prevented people from getting diluted. Dilution is a hard thing because look, when you're really popular, dilution is not linear. That's the issue. It depends on how many people are playing and how much are playing. We're going to get diluted. The question is, here's the question. If you're in it for the dividends, I would challenge you that there's not one DApp that has lasted for 3 months that has paid out more consistent dividends, period, end of story, and maintained the value of their token the entire time. Nothing, zero has touched Blaze. So when people are like, I just don't understand Blaze, and I hear people say that sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. It's damn near perfect right now compared to any other DApp. They got a long ways to go. I get frustrated sometimes because I'm like, come on, I want to I would love to see a burn mechanism happen sooner. I got frustrated. I was probably one or two people that when they were increasing the machine fee to 5%, people were like, oh yeah, more dividends. That's awesome. Let's do it. I was against it from the get-go because I thought that's not good from the gaming mechanism. If you take care of the game, ultimately the game will always take care of the dividends. That's how that works. You've got to take care of the game first. All right, let me see what's going on. Topia introduced a voucher system to try to help with div dilution. Okay. And bump up volume. Okay. I think it will work short term. Yeah, anything can work short term for sure. Anything can work short term. Absolutely. But the fact that you can't auto mine, I think, is the key. The fact that you actually have to be engaged in play is help fight dilution more than anything else. More than anything else. Look, when I started playing, 3-4 weeks ago, we were at 220 something Blaze, 220 something thousand. We're only at 280 something thousand now. That's not very much dilution at all. At all. So so when you see divs go down, I mean I've had 300 Tron days when I think the lowest day I had was 300 and something when I had 4,000 frozen. It was just a low volume day. And so the question was not how you fix divs, how do you fix volume? And appropriately, the devs are trying to figure that out. And that's one of the changes they made with Kings and Battles. And I forget, they did a couple other little tweaks that were awesome. And they did so good with it. I mean, 2 or 3 days they were watching it and it was like, we made changes. They announced changes were coming. The changes happened. It's just been awesome. Freaking awesome. All right. I have been on here entirely too long already, and it looks like we are done with the action for now. So I will be holding these points for several hours, and I will wait to sell tomorrow. I will sell sometime tomorrow, the last few hours probably, because I have a couple of times, I literally have done this. I've had my alerts turned up loud on my phone so I could wake up in the middle of the night and roll, because there's nothing like earning extra Blaze when you're rolling, and it's just exciting. It's just exciting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Do something good with your crypto. Protect it. Be safe. Just be glad that you're in this space, because you're one of the first ones. You're one of the early ones. You're one of the pioneers, ladies and gentlemen. And it is a privilege. It is my honor, whether we agree or disagree, to be in this space with you, because together we understand crypto. Together we believe in its future. And that is what I believe it's all about. Have a great night.